everybody, it's Karen. I am playing today with Papero Studios Easter Memories collection. I've got the embossed die cuts, images, and the sentiments, as well as the 6x6 paper pack. Now, I just wanted to take a minute to show you these die cuts because if you've never used Papero Studios embossed die cuts, they are wonderful. I love getting these. You can see that little shine on all the images. It's just a bit of glazing in different areas on these images. But the images themselves in this collection are so sweet. I love those bunnies. They were the first things that popped out and they are going to feature on my project today. But those are the embossed images, the Easter memories, or embossed die cuts, but they also have these sentiments, which are again embossed. And there are 4 sheets of each design. All of these will just pop out and are super fun to use on a project. I can see these being used on cards and scrapbooking. Some of those were good for birthdays. I don't know, I just really enjoy these. And at the time that I made the video, these are less than $10 a set US. So here's the Easter Memories 6x6 paper pack. There are 3 sheets of 6 different designs, and they're all double-sided, all with these really pretty little springtime colors and images on them. This one's got the Easter crosses on the back. This one is bunnies and more bunnies on the back of it. And then these ones were just all really fun little borders with, different sentiments that you could use, or just use the background on the back. So I do use a couple of those today, but mostly I am using these embossed die cuts. Now you can see I've got the bunnies. Everything else that I'm using today has come from the dollar store. So this wood slice has come from the dollar store. It's roughly a 6x6 slice, and then this little flower collection is also from the dollar store here. And I have just pulled these flowers out from that collection. I didn't want all these extra leaves and things overshadowing the bunnies, so I've just pulled those little flowers out, and they came on this styrofoam base. Now originally it was like this, and I have just cut that in half with my craft knife. So the bottom is roughly 1.5 inches tall. Now this one comes with a weighted bottom, which I don't think you need because that birch slice is going to be all the base that you need. So a little styrofoam circle would be great for this. Maybe a pool noodle. I'm not sure how wide that diameter would be, but styrofoam of some kind would work with this. So I'm using my hot glue gun to attach that down to the center of the birch slice. And I've cut a scrap piece of cardstock that is the circumference of that styrofoam. Now I had to cut 2 pieces of this pattern paper. I've cut them in 1.5 inch wide strips, and I'm just attaching these together, and this will wrap around that styrofoam. But I had to glue these together to make it all go around. So I'm just using my scrap that I have there as a guide, and I'm just going to trim that off. Now I took my bone folder and I'm shaping this. I just want it to curl around that styrofoam nice and easily. So just in the same way you would curl ribbon, that's exactly what I'm doing there. And so now you can see it will easily go around that styrofoam. So I used my hot glue gun to add glue to the inside of that and to the very tip or the very end of that. And then I'm going to shape it around that styrofoam and let it set up, let the glue set up. So this is what it looks like now that it's all done. And now I'm going to cover that. I'm using my Beacon 3-in-1 craft glue for this. It's quite a nice strong glue. And I'm working in sections. I've got that fake moss there that's also from the dollar store, and I'm going to put that over that wood slice to cover it. And I do cover that styrofoam. I use my hot glue gun for this styrofoam though, and then put the moss on. So I just worked in sections with that, and there's how it looks when it's all done. And then I could put the flowers back in. And I sort of went in a triangular pattern with those flowers just to make them fill up as much space as possible. So there they are. And now I found these eggs at the dollar store as well. They're kind of foamy eggs, I think. They're kind of a weird, a weird feeling. But they have the gray ones. I like the cream, the orange, and the pink ones, but I didn't like the grays. So what I've done is I've colored those. I just took a couple of acrylic paints. I've got a white there and it's a bit of a metallic blue. But once that was on, I then spritzed it with the Distress Mica Stain in Wonderland. And it just came out a nice robin egg blue. So you can see I've picked out all the bunnies and a few other images there that from that embossed die cuts. Now, you could put these bunnies right up against that inner circle, but I like the idea of them being away from that and being more a focal point of this arrangement. So I've got a scrap piece of cardstock here, and I'm just going to, I don't even know, I think it's about 1¼ to 1½ inches wide, but I'm just putting it against my bunny, and I want it to be narrower than the base of the bunny so it doesn't show from the front. So you can see there it fits inside him. And all I did is I folded that in half. You could score it, I didn't bother. I'm just folding it in half and pinching it, and I'm putting glue on one side of it. And then you want to put this on the back of the bunny at the very base of him with the folds against him at the bottom so that he will stand up. So I was just making sure that he didn't hang down too low or anything. And I just went along measuring this against each of the images that I had. There was no real measuring, I just did it by sight. So I'm just adding glue again. And now that I've got them all up on a stand, I was looking at it going, well, I don't like that white. So I went back in with my 3-in-1 glue, and I'm adding some moss to that, to the bottom, just to the stand part of these. So it's a bit more disguised when they're on that wood chip, or wood slice rather. Now I knew I wanted to cover those two seams first, so I didn't like it at all. It ends up being covered. But I'm putting some hot glue on the bottom of that stand, and I'm going to attach this little bunny right in front of that seam. Now, I have to confess, you guys, this filming of this was really tough today because everything was up above. It wouldn't stand on its side, so I'm sort of picking it up all the time. You're going to miss a lot. And I'm off camera quite a bit because my desk was covered in Easter stuff. But all I'm doing here is I decided to go around attaching all these stand-up images. And this one is the second one that covers that other fold line. So there's a bit of a gap between those two, but it's okay. It works out in the end. So that was the last of the standing images. They're all on there now. And now there's this gap. So I ended up just going back with those Easter eggs, and I'm going to fill in that gap. I just used my hot glue gun and attached all those little eggs down that way. So I've got a few more of these images, that the embossed die cut images, and these ones I'm going to put right in the back against that inner circle. So I'm just using my craft glue for that and attaching them in behind those other eggs. So I had all these other little Easter egg images, and I'm just putting those in the back. And that's the last of those images going in there. Now, I popped out these butterflies as well, and I realized they were the same size. So I am going to make use of that. I've put some double-sided tape on one of them for each set. So I'm going to pair these up together, and I've got a couple of pieces of wire there. Now it's quite a thick 20 gauge wire, so it's quite thick and sturdy. And I'm going to sandwich that between these butterflies. So I've taken the release paper off that double-sided tape. And on this one, I will add some of my craft glue, just so I have a little bit of wiggle room and so I can get the antennas attached as well. So I'm just placing that right over top of that first one. And then pinching it together, and then I can pop it into my arrangement and sort of have it coming out from the side there a bit. And I did the same thing with the second one there. Now, I took one of the sentiments, that Easter Blessings, and it had the same coordinating cardstock as one of the 6x6 papers. So I just cut a piece of that cardstock to match the same size. And again, I'm sandwiching a wire in between those two pieces of cardstock. And this will be my little sentiment that goes up in the middle of this arrangement. So squishing it together, and then I can pop that in, down in behind there. And now that's my finished centerpiece, which I thought was so fun. Those bunnies and all those little paper rose images are just so, so cute. So I can't wait for Easter so I can put this on the table now. But I hope I've given you some inspiration there today, you guys. Those die cuts, go for it. If you see them, I say go for it. They are so, so cute. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Talk to you next time. Bye.